And I try to look at it from both sides. Try to educate the customer,
Right.
educate the tech. But the customers that say, can you come out and give me a free estimate of what this is going to take, and not realize that you're going to spend, if you really are going to do justice by the customer,
Right.
you're going to have to put in an hour of your time. And can you charge $100, $150 to give them a diagnosis, not an estimate?
Right.
Because I give estimates free over the phone all the time.
That's right. Yeah. That's
But for me to go out to your property and tell you everything that is all the holes and your crawl space and give you that for free and not charge you, is just totally ludicrous.
Right.
And
I agree.
And that's the major problem, that when you put free estimate on the side of your truck,
Mm-hmm.
you're setting yourself up. And I have marketing guys will say, put free estimate on the side of your truck. I like to shoot the first guy that ever gave a free estimate to do a car diagnosis and tell you what's wrong with it. And so you can say, oh, I'm just going to take it to my buddy because he's going to charge me $69. Thank you for all your work.
That's right. I think that there's no, I'm not a big fan. I don't know. I'm learning more about the pest control side of things, to be sure, but I would certainly think that was a mistake on their part. Certainly for wildlife control, I don't recommend anyone giving free estimates. The only exception would be for what I would call big jobs where you can't, it's not just someone's home, where
Right.
you may be dealing with an industrial complex or something like that, where you may have to have some sort of visit. But for when you're doing an inspection, you need to be giving people value for that inspection, like what you described. You're not just simply giving them an estimate of what it would cost. You're telling them exactly what is wrong, how it should be done. And that's how I think wildlife control operators should do inspection. When you come out and inspect the house, you're not only going to identify what the problem is, you're going to identify what needs to be fixed, and also potential problems that they could have, and maybe problems they didn't even realize. Is the chimney capped? Well, maybe the raccoon's not in the chimney. Well, okay, maybe in the attic, but you still want to make sure the chimney is properly protected. Are the screens? So you're going to give them a complete diagnosis. So if they follow your instructions, you may never be back there again.
Right.
But the point is they got value for that inspection. And what I would do is I would say, if you hire me, I incorporate the inspection fee and discount the price that I gave them.
Right.
Otherwise, we're done. I have a friend of mine. He made my inspections look like a piece of garbage. He would actually tell people the measurements of the chimney, what they would buy, how the measurements of all the vents. He would tell them exactly what to do. So if they wanted to do it themselves, they had the blueprint right there.
Right.
And he has a profoundly good business, but he's what I would call a customer service guru. And I think if I was a homeowner, you have confidence in that kind of a person. He is laying it all out on the table. You make the decision as a homeowner what you want to pay for, what you can afford, what you want to do. He would tier it. This is what would need to be done. This is what could be done. This would be awesome if it was done. And he'd go down the list. But you knew when he walked away, he was done. And the other advantage is if the client ever called back, sometimes clients, wait, you wouldn't have to go in and remeasure everything. You'd pull out the form and you'd say, okay, that chimney is this. I know exactly what to purchase and make a one-trip stop. I mean, he has it dialed in, and I really think that his idea there was impressive. So I would definitely discourage people from free estimates. Your time is too valuable. And I think if you give that kind of a quality quality inspection where people realize that they're learning things about their home that they didn't realize before, they'll recognize that that's valuable.
Yeah. One of the constant conversations I'm having with guys, especially technicians that turn solopreneurs, business owners, is that they don't understand the cost of that sale.
No.
They don't understand the cost of the conversion. They think, well, how much can I pay for a lead? Well, $13. Well, how many leads do you need to make one conversion? And then how much does that sale cost you to go out and make that estimate? So if you've got $13 a lead and you take 10 leads to convert one, that's $130 for a conversion. Yep. And then you got to go out and spend 1 hour of your time, let's say at $100 an hour. Yep. Now to get that customer is $225 and you haven't even sold anything.
Yeah. I think that I don't think I realized that back when I was working. Of course, we didn't have the internet then.
Right.
I don't think I had that. I mean, if I wish in some ways what I knew now, if I went back in time,
yeah, that's a song.
I would have made so many different decisions. So I am not one of those people who says, "Oh, I would never change a thing." Oh, there's a whole lot of things I would change in my life. I can guarantee you that. So, and I always question people, think it all. No, I don't believe them for 1 minute. But in any event, I could tell you there's a lot of mistakes I've made. But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest challenge for a lot of WCOs is the business side. They're awesome wildlife people. If you need someone to get that animal, they will move heaven and earth to get that animal, and they will do it. Are they making money? Yeah, real money. And I fear for people that I'm not sure they're saving enough for retirement. Right. They're buying toys, and they're not thinking about what are they going to do when they're 60 and they can't climb that 30-foot ladder anymore. Right. I worry about that. Yeah. And we have a labor problem in the wildlife control field because it's a young man's game. Yeah. Sorry, ladies. We welcome you in our industry where there's just so few of you that want to be climbing ladders and going through some pretty rank places. Right. But I worry about that, and I think that's one reason that's really holding back our industry from really popping out. Like the pest control. I mean, we don't, we have guys with, $5 million a year income. I'm thinking it just boggles the mind. Right. Yeah, because it's duplication, and a lot of the guys, and I struggle with it with a lot of the PCOs I'm talking to. It has to do with a lot of the mentality up here. They feel that if they're charging what their company used to charge, they always felt the company was ripping the customer off. And there's that stigma in their heart that says, well, I'm going to charge less because it's wrong to charge that amount. They're not looking at, they don't understand that profit has become a bad word. Yeah. And they feel that if they're talking about being profitable, I just want to make enough so I can live comfortably. Well, that's a great goal, but I don't think they completely understand what that means. Right. And that's the problem I'm having. Yeah, I mean, let's be frank, folks. You're not going to be Bill Gates or Warren Buffett doing pest control or wildlife control work. I mean, you can live very comfortably if you're in the right market. If you're and you're charging enough and you have enough services, yeah, you can do very well for yourself. But a lot of times they're not thinking about what's it cost to get disability insurance? Do you have disability insurance? How many people have life insurance, for crying out loud?